Hey, for Saturday, March 14, 2020, this is the Pro and the Con Show, and I am your host once again, Michael James Ott. As always, welcome to the show. So, encouraging people to be better citizens, right? So, the Pro and Con Show, because the issues that face us are fairly complex. They cannot be resolved in four words on a bumper sticker, okay? 4 words on a hat. The issues that we face are more complex, and we have to talk about them. And we have to be open to listening to both sides of the issues, the pro and the con, the good and the bad, the for and against. We have to be open to doing these things. Well, today's show is called Text. And I just wanted to tell people, let people know that this is what I'm doing. I have a genuine concern on my own personal level that Mr. Trump is having some serious mental health issues. Now, I am not a physician. I am not a mental health expert. But when I watch him and I listen to him and I watch the entirety of his speeches, by the way, and I strongly encourage you to do those things, to be involved, to watch the entirety of things that he does instead of just getting little snippets from whatever source of information you look at on a regular basis. Watch the entirety. Watch it in its entirety. Decide for yourself what's going on here. But for me, when I watch those things in their entirety, and then I compare what he used to be like to what he is now, I can't help but believe that he's really suffering some serious mental health problems. And specifically, it really looks like he is well within, the early symptoms of dementia. And, this is a fairly serious, extremely serious thing, not fairly serious, extremely serious thing, because he's not my uncle, he's not my cousin. He's the President of the United States of America, and he's responsible directly for whatever it is, 330, 350 million people in this country, but also he's the, the de facto leader, if you will, of democracy around the world. This is kind of the burden that we as a country have shouldered for quite some time, some decades now, and willingly, for the most part, shouldered those burdens. And so I'm concerned about this, and I want to try to reach out to people. And so what I'm doing is I'm looking at places, so looking at area code maps, and I'm finding, area codes around the states, and then I'm looking at the second 3 digits. I'm looking on the internet and trying to find like typical cell numbers in those area codes that are often mobile numbers. And then I'm randomly generating 4 digits at the end of that, and I'm kind of just doing this. And then I've put together a little presentation, a little thing. It's got a picture of Mr. Trump and some, words of concern, and then here's some links to, some things where people are questioning, not just me, but other people are questioning his mental health. And then here's a link that talks about, here are the typical symptoms of, dementia and early symptoms of dementia. And then, encouraging them, if they look at that information and they start wondering themselves or being concerned, then to share that information with other people. It seems like this is a valid risk. And, it's just my opinion, but I'm curious what other people, and I'm hoping that people will evaluate it, and they'll evaluate it in any way they do. But the information is there. It's truthful information. They'll have it. And and they'll choose to do with it what they will. And unfortunately, most Americans, being fairly apathetic, probably won't do anything at all. Might not even read it fully. But, some number, it's important enough to me that some number of people be trying to consider whether this is really an issue or not. And so I'm going to continue to encourage that through text. And, and I send out these texts, and some number of them come back undelivered, and some number of them get delivered. And, if you think that there's some issues that you would like to bring to people, as an individual, it takes time, but I would encourage you to be proactive. Yep. And some number of people around the country are going to get texts that they probably didn't want. Well, that's the nature of anything. You get a lot of advertising and stuff in your mailbox that you didn't want. You see a lot of advertising on television that you don't want. But, at some point, some way, we've got to try to communicate. And some of that communication is unwanted, but some of it is wanted. And how do you figure out, how do you make it better? And especially if we won't even talk to each other, which is really a big problem these days. All right, so that's what I'm doing. I'm being proactive, again, trying to be a better citizen. I strongly encourage you to be a better citizen. Not with hate, not with anger, but just, here's information. Can we talk about this? Do you share these concerns or don't you? And I'm okay with you do or you don't. It's okay, but can we at least talk? Can we text? Can we be better citizens? I believe the answer is yes, and I am dedicated to it. And in fact, the July 4th event, I'll be out wherever I'm at. If I'm here in Hudson, Wisconsin, or I'm somewhere else around the globe, I don't care, wherever it is, at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, 12 noon here in Central Time, or 1 p.m. Eastern Time, whatever time zone I'm in, wherever I am in the geography, I'm going to head to the streets for 1 hour and tell people, I am here for you. I am going to be a better citizen. I am going to be open to listening to what you have to say, and I would ask you to do the same. Please, please, put the hate and the rhetoric and the anger behind you, and at least talk. Listen. Listen to the facts, the who, the what, the where, and the when. Listen to each other. Talk. Let's do it. Let's be better citizens. We can do this. We can be so much better than we are. We can do so much more than we do. All right. For the Pro and Con Show, I'm Michael James Ott. Bye for now.